Pablo Escobar is a name I'm sure we've all heard at least once. He was a Colombian drug lord who became the wealthiest criminal in history. Pablo's life is an example of how he used his intelligence to become one of the wealthiest criminals in history. He started out as a small-time seller of contraband cigarettes and other items, but soon began to work with cocaine. As he continued to grow his business, he developed a system for smuggling cocaine into the United States. This system involved using planes, boats, and automobiles to move the drugs from Colombia into Mexico, and then across the border into California. Pablo was eventually killed by Colombian police after 2 years on the run from authorities. Here's a few things we bet you didn't know about the infamous drug Kingpin. Number 5. Pablo is well known in Colombia for importing and exporting drugs. But that's not all he brought with him. He also brought in a herd of hippos for his personal zoo. The hippos were not killed or exported after the drug lord's demise. Instead, they were allowed to roam freely and have established a habitat along the Amazon River. The animals adapted extremely well to the South American climate, which is similar to their original environment in Africa. While some of the hippos are contained on Pablo's former property, which has been turned into an amusement park, others roam free. Today, there is a debate over whether the hippos should be killed in order to leave Pablo's legacy in the past, or whether they should be protected as a part of Colombia's history. After all, it wasn't their fault that one of the world's most notorious drug dealers wanted them as exotic pets. Number 4. Medellin has recently become a tourist destination. In fact, it has been named one of the top South American tourist destinations. However, this was not always the case. And it's largely because of Pablo Escobar that it's become so well known. No, we're not talking about how he made it famous. We're talking about how the city has made a huge comeback in order to rid itself of drug lords. To combat the city's violence, hardship, and delinquency, the government has spent the last 30 years pouring money into city improvements. As a result, incredible transformations have occurred, including the construction of Colombia's only metro system. It turns out that every cloud really does have a silver lining. Number 3. It may be difficult to believe, given the violence and destruction Pablo caused, but he adored his family. Pablo went out of his way, according to his wife and children, to ensure that they were safe, protected, and loved. He could do something as heinous as torture a man, and then return home and pretend it never happened. Furthermore, Pablo ensured that his children learned important values such as kindness and benevolence. While it may appear strange to us now, Escobar appears to have known deep down that what he was doing was wrong and desired a better life for his children. His efforts appear to have paid off as well, as his family was kept safe despite all of his dubious dealings. They're still alive and well today, albeit in private and away from the public eye. It turns out even though many viewed him as a monster, he kept that part of him hidden when he was with his family. Number 2. Although it may appear difficult to believe given the amount of violence he was responsible for, Pablo was a very popular figure in Medellin. Despite the fact that most people were aware of his violent crimes, intimidation tactics, and methods, Pablo had taken the time to make himself popular in his community. Pablo, you see, acted as a modern-day Robin Hood in order to gain the townspeople's love and support. He gave huge sums of money to the poor of the city, exchanging money for favors. As a result, many of the city's poorer residents saw him as a hero who was assisting them in making a better life for themselves. Pablo's popularity grew to the point where he decided to run for president. His campaign was so successful that he would have won the presidency if it hadn't been for the Minister of Justice, Rodrigo Lara Bonilla, making a public speech about the drug lord's crimes. While Bonilla saved the nation from tyranny, he paid the ultimate price with his life. Number 1. Although the United States DEA claims responsibility for the capture and killing of Pablo Escobar on the roofs of some Medellin homes, some argue that this is not the case. The Kingpin, according to Pablo's son, was an expert at evading the police. He had strict rules for keeping himself and his family safe, including staying undercover and avoiding phone calls, among other things. Despite knowing that the DEA was after him and was actively monitoring his phone calls, Pablo called his son from a phone line. On the phone, He explained his whereabouts and said a strange sort of goodbye, telling his son to stay safe. Only a few hours later, the DEA ambushed Pablo on nearby rooftops and gunned him down. While many people attribute this to the detective work, his behavior did appear unusual. Many people wonder if Pablo actually wanted to be caught and for his reign as Medellin's tyrant to come to an end. Did you enjoy this video? Let us know down below in the comments what other top picks you'd like us to educate you on. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos on Quick Glimpse.